Springfield woman says she suffered severe facial burns from an x-ray machine at a local dental office. More than a year and several investigations later, she says she hasn't seen any accountability. KEZI 9 News reporter Aaron Ariano followed up with her and those helping her through the pain. And we want to warn you, some images that you are about to see are considered graphic.
Zaid Crockett is an 84-year-old widow who lives alone in her Springfield home. She relies on the care of her neighbors who drive her to get groceries and to doctor's appointments, just like they did in June of 2023 when they took her to the Aspen Dental on Gateway Street.
Well, I went to the dentist, and they took me back there, and they started examining me, and then they took me into the other room and put me in this machine.
The machine, a CBCT X-ray machine that spins around the patient's head while they stand. At some point during the X-ray, Zaid alleges a staff member left her in the room alone for several minutes while the machine was on, and while it was spinning around her, she became dizzy.
And it's not very big to stand in, but my head hit the machine.
She says she bumped her head against the X-ray, but didn't think anything of it until about 2 days later when she noticed a spot on her head where she bumped against the X-ray began to swell. As the days went on, the swelling turned into blistering. Her neighbors took her to the hospital. She says Mackenzie Willamette Medical Center diagnosed her with first and second degree burns. She claims a second hospital, G Street Integrated Health, went as far as to say they were radiation burns. Carl, one of Zaid's neighbors who took her to the hospitals, says one of the doctors gave them a recommendation.
It was very definitely radiation burns that had sat there too long. And he recommended that we go back and tell Aspen Dental what happened.
Zaid and Carl say that they went back to the Aspen Dental and that staff said that they would pass their concerns along. But to this day, Zaid and Carl say that they never heard back from anybody. At that point, Carl began rigorously documenting Zaid's burns with photographs and notes. He became emotional about seeing his friend in such a miserable state.
Some of the very worst part was done, where the boils, the things that were just blistering out on her head, and her eyes were swollen shut several times. And
Carl says her burns didn't go away for 6 months, and now they want accountability for the time spent on Zaid's recovery. But a recent investigation into the incident by the Oregon Health Authority's Radiation Protection Services concluded Zaid did not have radiation burns, and the machine at Aspen Dental was working properly, saying Zaid's claims her burns were caused in that X-ray room could not be verified. Even Mackenzie Willamette Hospital, which diagnosed her with those first and second degree burns, says they were caused at an unknown site. So the question is, if Zaid did not get these burns from bumping her head on that X-ray, then where did she get them?
I don't know why people don't believe me. I don't understand why people don't believe me. I just really get frustrated. I've been all year, trying to get help, and I don't know, I just want something done. All the suffering I went through.
Right now, they're waiting to hear back from an investigation by the Oregon Dental Board, but they're worried that it will be another dead end. And if that's the case, they don't know where they'll go to get accountability. Reporting in Springfield, Aaron Ariano, KEZI 9 News.
Aaron, thank you. Now, our team reached out to Aspen Dental in February after we first spoke with Zaid. A senior communications director tells us that due to HIPAA laws, they cannot confirm or provide details regarding individual patient cases. They say they actively investigate any claims or concerns brought to their attention.